Happy Christmas Eve, all. I had told you earlier in the week that I wanted to do a video on Jesus, and I had been thinking quite a bit about why it had taken on such meaning for me this year. And I was I was thinking about just the birth of a master. He was a master on the planet, and he reached a level of mastery on in several areas, like so many areas. But he was able to, he was able to change physical conditions. He was able to turn water into wine and feed 5,000 and walk on water and heal the sick. People just touched him and they were healed. And he talked about that it wasn't about the rules, it wasn't about following rules. It was about loving God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself. So it was about love. So he was like the original love revolutionist. He changed a whole paradigm of the belief an eye for an eye. He changed the whole paradigm on that. He talked about, like when he was crucified, he talked about forgiveness, that they should forgive, they should be forgiven because they know not what they do. They know not the love of God, the unequivocal love of God. They don't understand what they're doing. And he talked about abundance. I have to refer to my notes. I do all of these unscripted. I don't have a script. It's pretty obvious. He talked about abundance. He talked about that we didn't have to worry. He talked about like the birds and how the animals and things are taken care of, and that we don't have to worry about what we're going to wear or what we're going to eat, that we're taken care of. We don't have to worry about tomorrow. We don't have to worry about the next minute. Just living in the now is enough. But the greatest thing was when he supposedly died, he showed himself to them so that they knew that it wasn't the end. That when we leave our body, that we go somewhere else. That it's not the end. I mean, if you think about like 2,000 years ago, although I'm not sure about time. I don't know what time is because I know that it's not the way we think it is. So I'm not sure what 2,000 years ago really looks like now. I really don't know. But at the time, they they didn't necessarily have any understanding of something like leaving the body and going somewhere, something eternal in us, the spark, the I had listened to Sadhguru this morning, and he gave this talk on the Christ, the Jesus in us, the Jesus in us, the us rising, us rising to the full extent of the Jesus within all of us. So he had talked about this not being the end and living life abundantly, and talked about love, talked about forgiveness. He talked about non-judgment, that we shouldn't judge each other. He who is without sin cast the first stone. These were all just such new ideas. And it changed the world. It changed the world. It changed everything. So I hope that we all have a really blessed Christmas. It would just be so great if everyone were just happy, right? Living into the capacity of who they are, an aspect of the divine in all of us, an aspect of the divine in all of us, and just really letting it shine. Love you guys. Bye.